Welcome back to DQP Does, the Drafty Podcast Network movie review show, where Shane had a whole thing that he was going to say earlier, but he's totally forgotten it by now, so brains. With me this evening is my co-host Russell.
I am not high, but I feel like I should have been to watch this movie.
We also have Nathan.
Yeah.
I forgot what order I was doing you guys in. So then
I'm last, but
I was going to say Dave, and then I was like, no, I'm looking at Nathan. So.
I wish you had, because I'd have been like, yeah, I'm Dave.
Yeah.
I'm Dave. Yeah.
I feel like you probably should be right corn.
Okay.
Are we doing that?
I'm out.
At least 6 feet away, because I'm not about to be that guy.
Just so you know, you might want to stand back a little farther.
I'm gonna wear a face shield too. Face shield and like a fucking lab coat, goulashes that don't leave the studio.
Are you?
You're wearing soup?
That's gazpacho.
Goulash?
What?
I just want to point out that Nathan informed us he is an Olympic ejaculator.
Fucking sitting in the bathroom and hitting the other wall. Not in our bathroom because that's not that far.
It's a good thing I have weird wallpaper in my room.
Yeah. Alright, anyway. I'm not gonna look at your ceiling next time I go in your room.
Never look up.
We also have Dave. Like I said your name already, but yeah, whatever. Hi.
Hi, David.
I was gonna say some stuff, but I got way thrown out.
Yeah. Oh my god. So this week we watched Return of the Living Dead.
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah. Dave's really fucking excited.
I've been excited the entire week.
Yeah. You know what made me excited?
What?
When they quickly.
Me, yes. Me too.
So I'm gonna do a real quick rundown. This dipshit gets a job with his dumbass uncle, and he decides to do his best used car dealer and smack the top of the canister holding U.S. Army prototype gas chemical that made undead. And he just like fucking, you could fit so many goddamn undead in this canister. Smacks the side of it and it shoots the gas out and gets him and his nephew sick.
Freddie.
Yeah, Frankie. And they Freddie and Frank.
Freddie and Frank.
Yeah, it's not confusing.
You mean the movie live?
Yeah. So they're in a medical supply warehouse, and so they have a cadaver upstairs, which the gas gets on the cadaver and wakes it up. But it also gets on like the split dogs and shit.
Yep.
Which, I mean, now those are made of plastic. I don't know if they were ever made of like actual dogs. That seems weird.
That I don't know.
But you know, like the cutaways of stuff, you know, like all the movies where somebody goes to the gynecologist and they start playing with the cutaway uterus that comes apart, and it's like, and the doctor comes in, they try to put it back together and it falls over and they're embarrassed. That's what like a split dog looks like.
Yeah, they're in every Judd Apatow movie.
Yeah, exactly. So they like are freaking out, just screaming for the first like 30 minutes.
There's a lot of yelling
Yeah,
in this
these
movie.
dudes like that actually like cut like a full point off. Just
Really?
yeah, Frank just oh!
I loved it.
For forever. Shut the fuck up.
You can tell he's having so much fun with this.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't have fun with him doing that. Like, I liked the movie, but like that really like pissed me off. I was so happy when he got to the point where he was like sunk into the chair, looking like he was already dead. Which I mean, they both were already dead, but where he was like already a zombie, and you're just like not saying anything because he's not part of the dialogue in the scene. I was so happy at that point. But anyway, they both get sick. It makes a fucking a zombie. They take it across the street to the guy that runs the morgue, and he has a incinerator for cremation.
Yep.
And so they cremate the body of the zombie because they can't kill it. It's like the worst possible fucking kind of zombie. Not only is it fast, it's also smart, and you can't kill it.
Yeah.
Like you have to burn it.
It understands how leverage works.
Yeah, we get to that eventually. This one you don't see it smart.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that.
Yeah, the first one you don't see that it's smart. And we also are told and assume that Frank is correct that the one that was in the can disintegrated. Because it like kind of shows it sort of. At the beginning.
It like melts.
It like melts. What was that? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep.
Like the Nazis and Raiders. Basically like a candle.
That was Last Crusade.
Is that?
Also Last Crusade, if you think about it.
Oh, okay.
When he drinks the thing
Yeah.
and he melts. So I guess they used that scene twice, didn't they?
That one's different. That one.
Yo! Okay, yeah.
With the,
Yeah.
he literally looks like a fucking melting candle.
Oh, fuck, he
That's
does.
how they did it. Yeah, just like sped up, like fast forwarded a anatomically correct candle.
It was like it's like a lot of like layers of wax and stuff.
Those scenes were similar then.
Yeah.
I love anatomically correct candle though. That's
Yeah.
Sounds like a dick. It's like a candle with a dick.
It's either like a fucking gross corpse or it's a penis. Like those are the realms that our minds delve in. Either gross and cool or penis
and cool.
and cool. And anyway,
So there's none of it in this movie.
Jesus. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that you didn't see this zombie's dick. But,
Wait, the cadaver?
yeah.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also weirded out by like he was like fucking mustard yellow, and I was like, are all the zombies gonna be like that? They weren't, so I was happy about that.
Did you find it amusing that he's like, all right, you guys, when you guys open the door, you brain the fuck out of that zombie. I'm going to hide over here. And the thing comes straight out and just beeline towards him. And he's like, God damn it, Frank.
Yeah, and it was funny to me because it's like the guy's the owner. So he's like, all right, they're writing it, and they're like, okay, this guy's the manager, so he's just gonna manage the fuck out of everyone.
He did.
The whole movie.
He did.
Which he did, and it was okay because like you need a leader, as we found out playing D&D the other day, and
Yeah, we did.
but anyway.
My favorite part of that scene, real quick, is where he's like, hit it in the brain. He's like, I did hit it in the fucking brain.
Yeah.
And the fucking pick is stuck straight in its head.
Yeah, like into the fucking ground.
Yeah, that's
Well, it worked in the movie.
You mean the movie live? So they go over and they burn the body in the incinerator, and oops, it spews a bunch of the chemical through the smokestacks into the air, and guess what? There's a fucking cemetery next door where Freddie's girlfriend and her punk rock friends are hanging out, waiting to pick Freddie up so they can find a party, because Freddie always knows where there's a party. In this group, we have, I don't know, like 3 people that don't really fit. They're all like 80s movie cliche characters.
Yeah.
There's like the new wave chick with the like blue and purple hair.
Casey.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, the way she's dressed is super new wave.
Yeah,
Party
it's very.
and then you've got like the 80s Flock of Seagulls dude. And then who was the other one that didn't fit?
The mod.
Yeah, the mod.
The mod, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like some actual punk guys, and then what was the one guy? Nunez. What was
Spider. That was Spider.
Spider could have fit in anything, but he actually looked to me like he should have been in one of the bars in Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Because he had like the I mean, he had like sort of a Jerry curl going on, but not really. It was loose, so it wasn't like he needs to be at a club. But
Yeah.
he had like the like sleeveless shirt / vest on and no shirt under it. That was like brown and just like jeans and boots. So he kind of seriously looked like a dude that was in one of the bars in Roadhouse.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, fun fact, he was actually homeless during this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Spider was the best character in the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Hands
I
down.
really liked it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fucking stupid like everyone else in the whole movie.
Like the head punk suicide.
Yeah.
That guy was a douche. Did you guys catch it when he called that manager guy honky?
Yes. Yeah.
That fucking killed me. I fucking laughed my ass off. It's like, come on, honky.
This is a fucking costume. This is a way of life.
Yeah. So Suicide was one of the actual punks. Trash. I don't remember what the other names were.
There was Trash, Suicide, Spider, Cassie. What was the Mohawk guy?
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of.
It began with a Z, didn't it?
Scuzz.
Scuzz. Okay, yeah.
So those were the people that were in the cemetery. Trash gets naked and starts dancing because, I mean, it's a B horror movie, so you have to have tits in it.
That fucking song, dude.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
The whole soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack is pretty fucking great. When the theme for the movie comes on, I was just like, oh shit, yeah, some like retro wave. I mean, it wasn't retro wave then, but it is now. Like 30 years later, 36 years later.
Well, it happens every time it spreads. Like, they open up the canister,
Yes.
and the gas goes throughout the whole, like, warehouse.
Yeah.
And then they incinerate the body, and then that goes through, like, the cemetery and just that, like, 20-block radius. Like, and then at the end of the movie, it does it again.
Right, yeah, they just keep making it worse.
That's the music for telling you shit's about to get real fucked up.
Yeah.
This movie would have been a really good music video. I would have enjoyed that.
Was it? Oh.
Anyway, we're gonna finish this, wrap up this thing. Anyway, so like the whole fucking cemetery comes to life and starts killing people. They find out that there's the one that got out of the canister is still alive. It kills Suicide in the basement of the warehouse. They lock it down there, and then people start dropping off one by one. Freddy and Frankie actually end up turning into zombies, and Frank kills himself in the incinerator, which is like probably one of my favorite scenes because when they kill the first one, he's like, "What do we need this guy for? I could run that thing. It's so simple." And I was like, I literally looked at Nathan while we were watching it, and I was like, he's gonna use it later. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie. So then he like kills himself with it, as he's like, no, I'm a zombie. I'm gonna eat brains. I can't do this. Like kisses this fucking wedding ring because he hasn't had a chance to talk to his wife, and jumps in there and shuts it, turns it on. So I thought that was really cool. I also liked Trash being like, right before she gets naked, she's talking about like fantasizing about dying.
Yep.
And she's like, the worst would be a bunch of old men around me, and first they rip my clothes off, and then they eat me. And I was like, she gonna get eaten, and then she does, sort of.
Yep.
She gets bitten and gets turned into a zombie. She doesn't get eaten, but close enough.
Which I don't understand.
To get ripped off at that point, she'd already taken them all off.
Because some of them did not get turned into zombies that got bit.
I think if they lost
Just trashed it.
too much of their brains, they didn't get turned into zombies. Because some of the cops got turned into zombies, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, because like you see people in uniforms and shit. Unless there were cops buried in the cemetery, but I don't know.
Okay.
And like also like time, but I don't know because she turned pretty quickly. She was also in a giant puddle of the shit though.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That might have done it right there. Yeah.
But anyway, so like everybody's dying, and then the owner, Bert, Casey, the mod, and God damn it, the cool guy, Spider. They get down into the basement, and there's a phone that actually works. They've gone through like 3 phones that don't fucking work. But they get down there, the phone works, they try calling the cops, and then they witness all the cops getting murdered by the zombies and breaking through the cordon, so they end up like getting out, spreading throughout the city even more, which they're in Louisville, by the way. And then Spider's like, hey man, why don't you fucking call the number that's on the side of the can? And Bert's like, oh yeah, that's probably a good idea, nerd. Sounded just like him. So then he calls it, and that basically kills everyone because they call the army, and the army's like, fuck that, we're gonna blow the place up.
Yep.
So they blow the place up, and guess what that does? The same thing that Cremating 1 did, only with like a couple thousand, and basically the whole Midwest gets covered in acid rain that is gonna turn shit into zombies. The end of the USA. Yep. And the movie. But if you didn't catch that.
That also was the end of the movie.
Yeah, you're right. Russell's just like, I fucking hated this movie.
Hate's a strong word. Dave, don't get upset.
I'm a little upset already, but
Yeah.
you know what? I love you, Russell, so it's fine.
Didn't love this movie. So there is a lot of imagery. Actually, my favorite thing about the movie is some of the imagery. Like the incinerator, the scenes where the camera pans out from the incinerator and you see the smoke rolling up. I love that.
Yes.
And I really do think that like there should be a music video that makes an homage to this movie, because like I understand it's a staple and it's definitely
there's a whole band called Send More Paramedics that they do some like Return of the Living Dead references and songs and stuff.
That's awesome.
So, and then there's another scene. So when the guy hanging in the plastic that ends up being the yellow zombie,
Yes.
like is coming to life.
That's great.
That
That looks
imagery
awesome.
is super fucking
Just
great.
like slowly zooming in on him moving in the plastic. Yeah.
That's fucking. I love.
I just the thing that kind of ruined that part for me, it didn't ruin it, but it made it not as good as it could have been, is they did the fucking 80s thing. They freeze framed it. Like I hate freeze frames. It's so dumb.
Yeah. It interrupts the flow.
Yeah.
I don't like freeze frames either.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cookie dough got to your brain.
Yeah. Still sitting on my brain 3 weeks later.
Yep.
But
I have more.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. This movie, fuck.
Okay, so this is how I feel about it. Me and Russell talk a lot about like cinematography and like if we pick up on like deeper meanings in the movie and stuff and special effects and like and try to be objective about stuff. Where like this movie, it does have like some interesting like political like ideas in it. You know, like weapons proliferation and like basically, you know, the evil of, you know, the government and shit like that. And how careless they are with things and like pollution and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it does well, and I think that's good and it's interesting. I think the special effects for probably as low as the budget were pretty good.
I think they're really good.
But like, I mean, if you compare it directly to another movie from a similar era, it might, if you don't consider what kind of movie it is, it will fall short, right? But considering it is a satire, comedy, horror B movie.
Was it supposed to be though? Because that's what I was confused about.
No, it's supposed to be comical.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Because it doesn't feel like it knows it's supposed to be funny.
see, I think it does, but
I feel like it does. But I also had that conversation with Dave about Romero and the guy that wrote this
Yeah, I was gonna
before we
mention that.
watched it.
Yeah.
So, because I think we had that conversation last week,
yeah.
and then we talked about it again today. But
Yeah, so people that don't know, George A. Romero and is it John Russo? I think it's John Russo.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Russo.
They wrote Night of the Living Dead together. And after that, Romero and Russo had two different ways they wanted to do sequels.
yeah,
George wanted to do more like the more serious, like horror type, and John wanted to do more like lean towards like a comedic,
yeah,
thing. So they kind of split ways, and Romero started working on Dawn of the Dead, which is a fantastic movie. And John wrote this, Return of the Living Dead, and then sold it to Dan O'Bannon, which Dan O'Bannon picked it up and just kind of, I think he made it even more ridiculous.
probably.
But yeah, so that's why in the beginning of it they mention Night of the Living Dead. That's kind of like a little jab at George kind of thing,
Right.
Because they talk about like you ever seen that movie Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they like retconned the shit out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super clever. But I did, so like, they're going for this weird satire parody element, and like at times it definitely feels like that, but it feels more like an accident. Like, at least to me anyway, I thought it was like
unintentional camp.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
hate unintentional camp.
Right. And that's what it felt like more often than not. But I mean that's just me.
Yeah, like I could tell, and I knew from conversations previous that it was campy and it was intentionally campy.
Mm-hmm.
Where like it's hard, especially with like young actors and like inexperienced actors and actresses, where to get like a tongue-in-cheek feel to it, right?
Yeah.
So like
It just
if they're playing it over the top, it comes off as extremely over the top, like
Right.
Freddie and Frank.
yes.
Yeah.
Where like if they're playing it serious and like and stuff, but it's coming off, but the part is ridiculous, like trash,
Yeah.
then it comes off fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
But if you know it's supposed to be camp, and like I understand that some of these people weren't very experienced.
Most of them weren't. So
Yeah.
I'm not to dominate this podcast.
No, you're fine, dude.
But I watched a little documentary on it, and like I love this movie.
Yeah.
So like the only like veteran actors were Bert, Frank,
Yeah.
the dude that did in the crematorium.
Mhm.
All those guys are like Bert did a bunch of like Western stuff. It's like
Was the manager?
yeah.
Right.
Bert did a lot of like Wild West stuff, and so like most of the punks and everyone else were all like new. Like I said,
Second time.
yeah, like Manuel Nuez was homeless at the time. This is like one of his first roles, not his first role, and I saw a thing. It was the dude that played Scuzz, who actually does a lot of the zombie work also.
Mm-hmm.
He's zombies in there too. I saw a thing where they were doing the scene at the beginning with the zombie, and Frank's like screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
And he was like in the other, across the other side of the building in like the lunchroom, and you could hear him just like screaming and wailing and stuff. It's like, oh, it's gonna be one of those kind of movies. Like, this is gonna be great. And the reason he's so like over the top is because the dude that played Freddy was so new that like whenever he would like overact, Freddy would respond to it really funny. So he kept pushing Freddy for that. So that's why it's all super over the top there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the only only characters I liked were Spider, the Mortician, and the Manager. Those were the only characters that I were like, these guys seem like actual actors.
Yeah, because but they were playing the straight man, like, in the whole part. Like, they weren't ridiculous the whole time.
Right. Well, the Mortician was ridiculous, but he was like...
Really?
He was like the right kind of ridiculous, at least as far as I thought. Because like overacting with the gun, like over pulling the gun, like was amusing, and like him having a gun, like also makes sense because it's the 80s and they're in like a shitty town anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like that stuff I thought was interesting, but like Freddie and Frank was fucking annoying. Frank getting in the incinerator, I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually probably my favorite scene because I didn't feel like that was overacted. But yeah, I agree. What else in the movie I was just like fucking annoyed with the entire time. Like I was just like, what is happening? And like the first 40 minutes of the movie, I actually enjoyed a lot more than anything that happened afterwards. Like, I hated all the zombie stuff.
I liked it way more once it got past the first zombie. Once it got past the first zombie, it was like, okay, now we're hitting our stride. Like, the other shit is happening. Like, people are dying and stuff.
I would say it also took, like, this movie could be probably just an hour. Like, this movie could be 30 minutes shorter if they didn't go back and forth so many times over every little subject. Like, how long it takes them to use the incinerator. Or how long each conversation takes just to reiterate the same thing. Drove me fucking nuts.
Yeah, the dialogue's a little iffy sometimes.
Yeah, like, are you sure, man? Yeah, man, I'm sure. Are you sure, though? Are you sure, man? Yeah, man, I'm sure. Like, they said it 5 fucking times.
Yeah, but then, like, I'm thinking about, the whole time I was thinking about, like, because the overacting was bothering me a lot, right? So then I started thinking about it, and I was thinking about, like, well, what would happen if that happened to me? If I'm just like, you know, like, I don't scream and shit when random stuff happens. I've been in a couple of very, very serious situations, and I kept my calm, but, like, I don't think that, like, everyone is like that. Yeah. So, like, because, I mean, I've seen people, like, scream bloody murder over, like, the tiniest spider, you know?
Right.
So, like, basically, you saw a real fucking zombie. Like, are you flipping the fuck out? Yeah, probably. I am. You know? And, like, I've argued with people over dumb shit when it didn't matter. Could you imagine if it was life and death? You know? So, like, that kind of stuff, it annoys me, but then I was thinking about it, and it's also sort of realistic.
I feel like you're going to be a lot quicker to make a decision, though, if it is life and death.
Yeah, not necessarily.
I don't want to end up in one of these situations because I'm going to hate everyone.
Yeah, no.
Like, yes. It takes 3 seconds to make a decision.
No, it does. It really does.
And that's one of the things I find most unrealistic about movies.
You know what?
Indecisive.
I was in a really bad accident once. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this real quick. I was in a really bad accident once. I didn't actually get hurt. My friend got hurt, but that's not the point of the story.
Right.
The point of the story is every motherfucker that asked me 17 questions to see if I was okay and if I was telling the truth about being okay, and asking if we were wearing our seatbelts, and asking us how my friend got so hurt if we were really actually wearing our seatbelts, and everything else. And I was literally, the whole time, I was like, I have a leg cramp and I have to piss. Let me the fuck off this bed. Because I was strapped down to a gurney in a hallway because it was a busy night, and, like, I didn't have any apparent injuries, and they were trying to save my friend's life.
Yeah.
And, like, I had a priest talk to me, like 2 cops, a bunch of nurses, and they all asked me the same fucking questions, except for the priest. The priest was the one that actually helped me, which, like, kind of pisses me off now because I'm an atheist and stuff, but whatever, he was cool. He was a cool person. But he, like, came up, like, everybody was like, hey, are you okay? Does this hurt? Does that hurt? You know, what happened? Tell me what you think happened. Were you wearing your seatbelt? Was your friend wearing your seatbelt? Well, I don't believe you that he was wearing a seatbelt because he has all these head injuries, and that doesn't happen unless you're not wearing your seatbelt. And I'm like, nah, man, we were wearing our fucking seatbelts. We're not stupid.
Right.
All this stuff. And like every time they would ask me a question, I would answer it, and then it'd be like, can I please get off this gurney because I have to pee? And they're like, I got some more questions for you, and then I'll find somebody to ask if you can get up. Or they'd be like, well, we can get you a bedpan. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to a real bathroom. I'm not pissing in a hallway. You know?
Fair enough.
And like, it just over and over again. And like, that's how I feel like it would be in like an emergency situation with like somebody that thinks they're doing something good, and you're just like, no, we've already made a decision. Let's fucking do it instead of asking 20 questions.
Yeah.
Because they think that you're crazy or they are crazy and you're the one that's being calm and, you know, demonstrative, and it's like, it doesn't work when there's that dichotomy of attitudes towards the situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I still didn't like the overacting, but I could see why it's there beyond the humor. It's also possibly realistic.
I'm just gonna hate everyone if I end up in a situation like that.
Yeah, I know. Me too, but...
Yeah.
This would be a terrifying situation, because we already talked about it, because the zombies don't die.
That's the
They
fucking
also
worst.
talk.
And they talk.
Yeah, this whole thing,
Like that.
that's fucking... Ugh. Well, okay, so, like, I like this version of Undead. Not the only reason they're zombies is because these are like this is a really old interpretation of zombie, and because they want to eat brains. But like, I like them talking and having an explanation for them talking, and like they're just people that are rotting.
Yeah.
And are still ambulatory somehow, and they're in like intense physical and mental pain, and the only thing that alleviates it is eating living brains.
I really like that scene where they talk to the zombie
They talk
lady.
to the half chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who, fun fact, is voiced by Scuzz. Scuzz did the voice of that.
Okay.
So the half chick on the table, I thought looked good.
Looked great.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Like her spine was like a tail.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked the way that was done. I
Some of
didn't like the happening, but I liked the way that it looked.
Yeah. Like, this is terrible and uncomfortable and makes me want to vomit and stuff, but it looks good, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one thing that bothers me about the movie is the inconsistency in the effects, because that looked great. The zombie from the can in the basement looked really good. The cadaver was randomly mustard yellow, and I don't understand why.
I don't remember why, because it was like an older frozen corpse. I don't know, like, because it was frozen. I don't know.
It'd be like pale.
Yeah,
So
I don't
it just
know.
looked like Freddy and Frank did later. Right?
Yeah.
Unless they'd already done something, they'd already like.
Or maybe it was like disease.
Well, no, maybe he was already embalmed. Had he been embalmed? Embalming
That was in.
yellow tone.
That was in the.
Well, no, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
They were
I don't
preserving the body.
I don't think they embalm. They don't embalm cadavers, do they? Because you have to be able to like, or not the same way. They don't use the same stuff. I wouldn't think,
Yeah.
because you have to be able to like.
maybe because they use like formaldehyde and shit and embalming.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like maybe it's like a weird skin preservative
Maybe.
to keep the cadaver
Iodine?
fresh.
I don't know.
I'm not a dead guyologist.
I bet it's iodine.
Dead guyologist.
I bet you're right. I bet it's iodine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Okay. Anyway, so that's why he was mustard yellow, and it actually has a reason. But I don't know. We're probably full of shit. I know we're full of shit, but maybe we hit the nail on the head accidentally, swinging around with blindfold on. But the one that really sticks me and pisses me off because it's in the movie twice is the skeleton coming out. I know you love it.
I love it.
I know you love it. And I like the idea of it, but it looks like shit. It looks like shit. Compared to everything else in the movie, it looks like shit. And you can see like wires and stuff. And they use the same shot twice. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
There's also like, there's a pretty low budget they have.
Come on, bro.
Alright. I agree. I mean, I agree with you. I'm just.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, like I said, I do like this movie.
I also like it.
So I'm gonna end up giving it 2 scores, but we'll get to that later. Nathan, how are you doing over there?
Sleepy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to chime in about on this.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much talked about everything.
Yeah.
People ever heard of? No.
Closing the goddamn door?
Yeah.
I thought Nathan wanted to party! Nope.
No. Not really.
Zombie.
Yep. And you can't kill me.
I wouldn't want to.
Thanks.
Yeah, you should go and play Time Splitters on PS2 in the shed. We're gonna build a shed, put you in it.
Why?
Because you're a zombie. We're just gonna chain you up and you can play Time Splitters all the time.
And we're best friends.
If you tie me up and keep me in a shed, we're not best friends no more.
It's better letting you run around eating brains.
Yeah.
Have I eaten any brains?
Well, you haven't turned yet.
I'm not feeling like I'm gonna.
Shit. God damn it.
I think it's just a poop.
Okay.
Said more cops.
Said more toilet paper.
Said more toilet.
Yeah, like, so this movie had, first off, it had zombies that were completely terrifying that don't fit the norm.
No.
You can't kill them. Apparently there's more to it for them to turn somebody into a zombie, but not necessarily from a bite that we've noticed, because we can't say that that's a factor even with Trash.
Yeah.
Because she drowned in that water essentially.
Right.
Like,
She died.
also she didn't have bite marks all over her.
Right. Yeah, that was like she didn't get eaten, obviously.
Yeah.
That perfect porcelain skin, which
Yeah.
Right.
the whitest zombie of all of them.
I think they just wanted to have more scenes with Naked Linnea Quigley.
Well, and that's not a bad thing, because when she was running around with clothes on, I was like, all right. And then she was running around naked, and I was like, this is better, obviously. And then she was running around barely covered up with her ass hanging out, and I was like, I can watch this all day long. I'm good with this. And then, like, she, got ravaged by the dudes, and then she turned all white, and I was like, I want to see more of this, because we didn't get to see the facial prosthetics they had on her.
Yeah, she looked.
You know
what she reminded me of? She reminded me of when Dorian gets the mask in The Mask.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With because of the forehead.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
huge brow with like the sunken cheeks and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And then, like, her mouth looked huge.
Yeah, it looked like she.
When she was like, yeah, which was like, I feel like there's more to it, and we didn't get that. But for what this movie was, which is fucking low budget,
Yeah.
at least I'm hoping it was.
Yeah.
It was good. But this is not a zombie apocalypse type situation and it's not even really an apocalypse, but it's not your norm that we're used to, where it can be semi-defeated, maintained. There's no winning.
No.
And if that's what you're shooting for, the sequels don't make sense then. Because they shouldn't be, there's not containable by the end of this movie. It's not containable.
Right.
So it would just be more survival. But like from what we've watched, the previews of the other ones,
Yeah.
so the storyline's not cohesive throughout the whole thing.
I don't think so. I want to watch the second one.
I own it.
Me and Dave talked about watching it. I don't know if we're gonna do it on the show, but
I'll bring it over sometime.
okay.
I mean,
Cookie dough. We'll watch it.
well, just going up to Return of the Living Dead Necropolis, I mean,
That one's totally.
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Those are all like straight to DVD, like hot garbage.
Well, nonetheless, even it's still keeping with the name.
Right.
And I don't like the fact that Night of the Living Dead and then Return of the Living Dead, like it sounds straight up a sequel for Night of the Living Dead. In my opinion, the only sequel that we're getting is like from Night of the Living Dead is like Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Like those fit those zombies.
Right.
Yeah.
The Romero zombies.
Yeah. More fan.
But I mean, if you think about it, they ran in Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Because they even had like and I'm going off the newer ones, but like I guess in the newer Dawn of the Dead remake, which is still like 20 years old, like yeah, like those zombies were kind of fast zombies, you know, and then they got like people that were like amputees to be in it, like the guy like climbing on the pipes in the parking garage, like, so those were pretty gnarly zombies too.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Like, fast zombies terrify me anyway. But if you want to be truly scared of an actual zombie apocalypse, we need to go to that fucking VR place I went to last year. And we need to play that fucking zombie thing. Because it is fucking horrifying. Like, you're playing a game, so you're like, okay, yeah. But like, the whole time you're getting your ass beat by these fucking zombies, and you're like, if this actually happened, I'd be fucked!
I'd be
Fucked!
fucked.
Because it's like a light gun game, so right? So you're like doing something stupid to reload your gun, like shooting off screen or shooting up or like pushing a button or whatever. It's like, that's not how that works. It's way harder than that fucking reload a shotgun. Dude, we would be fucked. I'd be fucking zombie chow. Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
fast zombies.
my preference in the treating of zombies and for movies is more so like not I'm gonna walk in the middle of them, or like it's more like I just better not see them at all, like,
yeah,
or avoid them as much as possible.
Right.
Which is what, like, that's my preference, because like it would be super easy to get bit, like unless you have like full riot gear on. Like in a real life situation with zombies, it would be so fucking easy to get turned into a zombie
Yeah.
that like you don't just run up to 20 zombies and kill them with a hatchet, Andrew Lincoln, but like you just don't do that. Like,
yeah,
He was under the drug of father's rage.
yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's my favorite character, and I stopped watching The Walking Dead when he left. But like, you have to be smart when dealing with zombies, because that's the only advantage you have over them. Is that you can think. I don't like that the zombies in this talk. I don't. That's not. They're not fucking zombies.
They think.
This was the first
They
movie that
think
had
they
heal.
feel. Yeah. Like, I'm not about that. There's nothing. There's very few things I like about this movie, and absolutely nothing I like about the zombies.
Well, okay, so here, how does this make it better? They're not zombies. They're ghouls.
I mean, they are ghouls.
They are
minus having.
They are basically ghouls.
But yeah.
Well, they're like supernatural ghouls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their overlord is like the chemical. What I thought was going to happen, the way I thought they were going to end the movie, was not with the nuclear bomb dropping on the town.
Nuclear artillery.
Nuclear artillery.
So that's another half point off.
Yeah. What I thought was going to happen was
The
they
big
were
guy
going to be
can't.
like,
I'll get it.
it wasn't like a supernatural occurrence. It's a chemical thing.
Yeah.
But either way, I thought the way they were going to end it was they were going to be like, well, we got to go kill that one zombie, and then all the other zombies will die. And then they didn't do that. Instead, they just dropped a bomb on the town.
Artillery.
Artillery. But yeah.
A really big 308 is what it looks like. With a radioactive sign.
I really want a zombie movie that is a necromancer is behind it all, and they have to go kill the necromancer.
Dude, I bet it exists.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It does, but not in the form that I want it to exist in, because it's sort of what happens in the Hobbit movies, sort of, kind of, with the necromancer and him, like, bringing stuff back to life.
Yeah,
But
the Hobbit movies terrible.
they are awful.
Unfortunately, they are awful. I love The Hobbit.
Music video?
Yeah, the music video?
I love it. Kind of like the Transformers music video.
I love that one.
The Linkin Park song?
No, like the 80s movie that's just music
yeah.
video.
Good stuff.
And what the Hobbit one was 70s, right?
I like the book, but there's like The Hobbit.
No, the cartoon movie.
That's like 70s, yeah.
It was a music video.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Cartoon Network.
Oh, so Dan O'Brien also wrote.
Yeah, he wrote a bunch of stuff.
I wanted to highlight that.
Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah, O'Bannon. Dan O'Bannon. Oh. Okay, so this guy is fucking important. So he wrote the original story and screenplay for Dark Star, which is a 1974 G-rated sci-fi movie.
Boo! G-rated.
And then he wrote the screenplay and story for Alien.
Whoa!
79.
Yeah.
He did 1981's Heavy Metal original story, which is also an hour and a half long music video. I fucking love that movie cartoon thing.
Hold on. There was another movie cartoon thing that I wanted to bring up real quick. I think this is it. Yeah. So this one's also basically a music video. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it's on anything anymore, but it's based on some like Frank Frazetta art, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's called Fire and Ice.
Yes.
1983.
Fire and Ice is fucking weak.
I don't think I've seen that.
It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
That sounds like up my alley, so.
Yeah. I used to get drunk and like just watch it. Just like put it on and be like,
This is great.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
Dan O'Bannon also wrote the screenplay for Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What the fuck?
Yep. He wrote the screenplay for Screamers, which is a rated R movie that came out in 1995.
You know what we didn't do? What we said we were gonna do?
What?
We didn't do Alien.
No, we never did do Alien.
I'm sorry, Bill from Indy. We never did Alien. We'll do it. We'll do it eventually.
We should do Alien. I watched it last weekend,
Well, shit.
but I'll watch it again. I love that movie.
So Dan O'Bannon was inspired at an early age by EC Comics, like Tales from the Crypt and old horror films that he saw in St. Louis. He even wrote a few stories for Heavy Metal magazine,
Oh, nice.
which also ended up showing up in the film. O'Bannon got his start when he and John Carpenter collaborated on the cult sci-fi film Dark Star.
Yes, I've seen that. It's wild.
After a failed attempt to make Dune with bizarre surrealist Alejandro Jodorowsky in Europe, O'Bannon returned to the U.S. and began work on Star Beast, later retitled Alien, with Ronald Shusett, with whom he later worked again on Dead and Buried. He continued working in the sci-fi horror genre, mostly as a script doctor, but his directorial debut was The Return of the Living Dead, 1985. Is known as one of the best zombie movies ever made.
Yep.
And as of is writing 2 sequels with another in production. Lately, O'Bannon has been appearing in a lot of DVD documentaries discussing his work and his influences. It is also worth noting that all of his films have interesting psychological interpretations. He has a tendency to appear in bow ties. So Dan O'Bannon was born on September 30th, 1946, and he died December 17th, 2009 at age 63. I'm assuming his IMDb bio has not been updated since his death, as it said he was still working.
It also said that there was another one in production, and there's been 2 since the first 3 that both came out in 2005.
Yeah, so this guy, I hadn't really heard his name. I
No.
didn't realize like who he
I don't know who
was.
the fuck that was until you read everything that he's done. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit,
It's a lot.
everything he's done. What?
Yeah. So I wanted to go over that real quick. And then, so it says interesting psychological thoughts. And so are we moving on to final thoughts?
We can.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Well, we got to do the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do your corner.
You guys will go to the corner?
Yeah, let's go to the corner.
Dave's Trivia Corner?
Down on the corner. Dave's Trivia Corner.
Ooh, that's my theme song now. Where my purpose of this corner is to make you, neat. So I have a bunch because I fucking love this movie. I don't know if you guys realize that. So here's one. Some of the zombie extras were paid bonus to eat real calf brains in the film. Dan O'Bannon didn't want the actors to do anything he wasn't willing to do, and ate some raw calf brains first in front of them to show that he wouldn't ask them to do anything he wasn't willing to do himself.
What a fucking
That
man.
doesn't sound safe.
I mean, people eat brains all the time.
Bro, raw brains like can fuck you up.
Maybe his whole goal in life was to create
Actual zombies.
Actual zombies.
Yeah.
so that way when the aliens showed up, they could easily take over the world.
That's true.
Anyway,
Got some more.
neat.
Yeah, it worked. In the unprecedented move, a fan of the film started an internet campaign to get the movie released on DVD. Going beyond simple fan petitions, Michael Allred created a webpage consolidating every bit of news related to the film and contacted many of the film's principals, including the writer and director Dan O'Bannon. He went on to put O'Bannon in touch with MGM, the studio that owned the film, and work began on getting the film released on DVD. O'Bannon and others who worked on the film credited Allred and his campaign for getting the movie released on DVD, also on Blu-ray.
Nice.
So like a fan loved this movie so much that he basically got it on DVD Blu-ray. On the back of Freddy's jacket in the theatrical version, the words "fuck you" are displayed. After realizing the shot could not be used in any case it was ever shown on TV, a second jacket was made that says "television version" and can be seen in the TV version of the movie. It's one of my favorites.
That's fucking neat.
That's great. I like it.
I got a few more. I can keep going.
Yeah, let's do it.
When shooting Trash's Linnea Quigley's gravestone dance, she initially was completely naked and showed pubic hair, as was more the norm in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
However, producer Graham Henderson visited the shoot that day, and according to himself and others, threw a fit, yelling at Dan O'Bannon that you can't show pubic hair on television. Dan sent Linnea away and had her completely shaved, which coincidentally Linnea herself found to be the most embarrassing part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then they did another shoot to which Graham Henderson cried out, "Oh God, it's even worse. You can see everything."
Fuck you, Graham.
At this point, they sent Linnea Quigley over to Bill Munn's and William Stout, where they made an elegant crotch piece resembling the bottom of a G-string and glued it on. According to Linnea, it was a bit of a problem since every time she had to go to the bathroom, they had to remove it. Because of this, there are no shots of Linnea with a completely naked crotch area. Because it looks like a department store mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
What the had to be embarrassing for her.
Yeah, I could
Oh,
imagine.
man. Like, I mean, hard enough to just like get naked in front of a bunch of random people for me, personally. But then like, for somebody to like criticize my fucking manscaping or something, and be like, yeah, hey, your hair's a little patchy. Why don't you go take care of that? And be like, oh god, I'm gonna go never come out of my trailer. Oh wait, I'm getting paid like $2,000 for this 3-week shoot. I'm gonna go sit in my car. I don't have a car. Fuck.
Shit.
Yeah, and then after you shave, they're like, "Oh God, it's worse," and then it's like, "Well, there's my self-esteem gone."
Yeah. Apparently, my junk is horrifying.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I think Willem Dafoe feels.
That's true.
It's probably how he feels.
Huge and confusing.
Yes. Huge and confusing penis.
Sounds like a compliment, but I mean, if you're the guy that's getting told that, that's gotta
Dude, like, I mean, like, does it look like fucking Cthulhu? Like, what's confusing about it?
First off,
That
We've
question
been
mark
doing
on
this
it.
podcast for over 2 years, and we still don't know.
first off,
Just send us a fucking picture.
I would not hear anything past huge.
What if you were told it was confusing first? Your junk is confusing.
What's huge?
I still only heard huge. That'd be like, that's because you're confused because it's so huge. I get it.
I mean, that's kind of how I took it. Like,
Yeah.
either that or it's got like a fucking curl in it. Like, not like a hook or it's
Like a pigtail?
fucking like, it like comes back on itself, you know?
Maybe he's got 2 heads.
Ooh. But he's got like a hydra dick? Holy shit.
Or maybe he was gonna have 2 heads, but then fully split. So he's got like.
I still go with the head of his dick looks like his face. Where they like, you know.
Oh my god.
Is it more
I feel like it's confusing, but yet looks so determined.
That's totally a fucking Family Guy skit. Like fucking Quagmire's head on his own penis. Just like, giggity.
Willem Dafoe is returning as the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, so maybe Tom Holland will let us know because he can't keep secrets.
You can't keep secrets.
Why would he have seen his penis though? Don't make it weird.
Haha, joke's on you. Willem Dafoe's penis grew up to be Tom Holland.
It was actually a baby arm. Literally a baby arm.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Split off of Willem Dafoe's crotch and got a pretty good acting career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you cut out all the times we've talked about Willem Dafoe's penis, you could have like an entire movie's worth of featured content.
Yeah.
That's in the new show, The Penis Cast.
Yeah, probably. Somebody make a supercut for us and send it to us at draftyq@gmail.com and we'll put it up somewhere.
On Reddit. What other
penis cut.
trivia do you have for us, Dave?
I got one more, and this one's for Shane.
Oh, is it about Willem Dafoe's penis?
Willem Dafoe's penis is showed, no. The shot of the skeleton rising out of the grave and opening its jaw is a major disappointment to Stout. Just one of the special effects.
Yeah.
He had assumed it was a work in progress and not the completed effect. I was so busy being disappointed by other things, says O'Bannon, that I didn't have time to be disappointed with that one. It of course went on to become one of the key scenes used in marketing. So they're not happy with it either.
Yeah, and they used it twice. Like, hey, that shot sucks. We should use it a lot. What? Some fucking marketing guy got his fucking tires slit by that special effects dude in O'Bannon. They're just like, this fucking dude.
It just goes to show you that pubic hair can be so distracting you forget about other aspects of your job.
It's true in most jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I was at work and somebody was just like, if Linnea Quigley was just like outside my office dancing around with her pubes out, I'd probably be like, what the fuck?
And then she goes and shaves them, and it's worse.
Do you think the executive producer that came on set and made her shave, like, also took her pubic hairs and wore them as a
Oh,
mustache?
no.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. All right.
Yep.
Thoughts on the movie? We're just ignoring what Russell said. We're leaving the corner now.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming to my corner.
So my final thoughts are: do you think the executive?
No! Fuck you!
I think they put it on the skeleton and made it go, do you want to party? It's pubic time!
We need a radio show. Someone give us a radio show.
Oh, God.
I'll do it.
We just get so many fucking FCC fines.
Fuck them.
Damn right.
Wait, I thought we did it on Sirius. Area.
Dan's the best areas.
So my final thought.
I don't know if we can air any of that. Like,
Willem Dafoe's.
That's your final thought?
So
stop talking about dicks. All
Every-
right.
every day I just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling.
Talked about dicks and fucking bushes today. Let's talk about other stuff.
My final thoughts are: there wasn't any dick in this movie.
He was disappointed.
No, seriously though, I think there is an underlying thing where, like, an underlining thought where it's like, okay, we have all these punks, and punks are supposed to be punkish and badass, and they're not scared of shit, and they're ready to fight the law. And he says at one point, he's like, man, I'm not calling the cops. And I get that, because they say they're just gonna harass us.
Who's gonna beat the shit out of
Yeah,
us?
they're just gonna beat the shit out of
Which
us.
at the time in the punk scene was very true.
Yes.
Like cops were just coming in, beating up, like going to like punk shows and just kicking the shit out of you.
Yeah, but I don't. So the way I took it was like, it's not in favor of the punks. Like the movie isn't. Like the movie is making fun of the punk lifestyle, and which I'm confused about how punks went and watched. If they did, went and watched this movie in the '80s and didn't feel, offended. I guess because like real punks don't really get offended, but it's like it's more so making fun of them than I think it is really saying anything else.
Yeah, I agree to a point, but like to me, this movie is very punk rock. It's shot, the attitude is there.
Yeah.
They are kind of making fun of the punks, but like that's kind of what punks do, really. Like it's.
Well, yeah, I mean, punks can make fun of other punks, but
Yeah.
when you have a uppity studio executive doing it, I feel like
I see. He seems kind of punk rock to me, because like he's.
Don't ban it anyway.
Yeah,
abandoned.
Yeah, he seems pretty punk rock to me because like most of the shit, you can just tell it's dripping with like the attitude, and like also he's helping a lot of these actors. Like most of the zombies were homeless people that he like gave a job and like paid them for a day's work and fed them.
That's super cool. Like that's super cool, and I'm about that. I just like the way and I don't know, maybe it's just because of the age of the movie or like how good things come across usually now when it's purposeful. Like it just doesn't seem, I don't know, it seems more right wing than
I guess I can
like
see
the
that a
movie
little
should
bit.
have been.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
But those are my final thoughts.
Maybe like I feel like it's both like if you're gonna put like a political lean on it, it's somewhere on the backside where the far left and the far right are really close to meeting. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the government's fucking bad, and like the army is bad, and fucking pollution is bad, and punks are kind of bad, but only if they're like fake punks who won't shut up about how it's a way of life instead of just being a punk, and like stuff like that. And it's like that, and like your boss is a fucking jerk, and fuck the cops too, and stuff like that, which like eventually once you get so far to either side, they both agree on most of that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
That's you bring up the
Fake punks, yeah.
and that that kind of does spin it a little differently because then like now I'm wondering if that was the point. Like,
Because I
take
feel
these
like
fake punks and you put them in a situation where they have to be punk and then they're not.
yeah,
And then you like prove they're metal. Like you have
yeah.
Spider.
Yeah, Spider and Scuzz. Scuzz was legit because he just died. Like he just got fucked over.
Yeah.
He was legit. Suicide cracks me up because he like everybody's like kind of scared of him, but he's totally a facade.
Yeah, he's
Right. He's totally fake, and he won't shut up about how real he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously Trash is just like supposed to be one of those like groupie kind of characters,
Yeah.
right? Where she's like, oh man, Suicide is so cool. I'm just gonna get naked around him and then try to fuck him later. And he's like so totally absorbed in trying to be this character that he isn't even like willing to accept like probably one of the most popular reasons to be like that, like
Yeah.
to fake being a certain thing is usually to like get the girls and the recognition.
Yeah.
And then he just like pushes her off, and it's like, whatever, dude. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you just fake as fuck and stupid. Cool. But like, Spider was legit. Scuzz was legit. We didn't really see Freddy do anything other than scream and die. But like the other characters were like hangers on, kind of.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of see what you're saying, but I also like see. I don't think that's really what it was about, and I don't think that's what it meant. I think it was I think it was like this guy is a piece of shit and is totally fake, and he's gonna die first.
Yeah.
And then
That's true.
and so on and so forth. Like it kind of took out the characters that were kind of worthless, and the ones that were worth the shit didn't die until everybody died in the end.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. That does make a little bit more sense. I agree with that.
Okay. My opinion, really, on the movie though, is like I said at the beginning, you know, the kind of movie it is, the budget of the movie, and the inexperience of a lot of the people in it really does kind of take its toll on the movie. But as a satirical comedy horror B movie, I think it's excellent. If I was judging it against like AAA titles of the same time period, I would not say it was excellent. So that's kind of where I'm at with this movie. Anybody else got any final thoughts before you get into ratings?
I think I said mine.
Okay. We're gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give it a 6 as against other movies. As a B movie, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because of everything I just said. Russell.
I would rather crawl into a crematorium than watch this movie again.
Oh my God, Russell. I love you, but like you're hurting me. Why was you hurting me, Russell?
Fucking like twist my dick behind me.
No, I don't know. For what the movie is, I'll give it a 6. Because it makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Up until the last 40 minutes, and then I was just annoyed the whole time. So I give the first half a 6. I give the last half like a 3 or something. I don't recommend this movie. If you like movies like I like movies, if you like movies like Dave likes movies, then I'd recommend this movie. I'm sorry, Dave.
No, you're fine. I respect people's opinions.
It's not Army of Darkness, so like I can't accept all of the bad stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're gonna have to do those at some point. I believe I said that before, but we never did it. But we're gonna have to do Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, we do really need to do those.
Oh my
and
God.
I'll be honest with you, I only like Army of Darkness.
Ooh. I love Evil Dead 2 and 1.
Evil Dead 2 is the worst.
Evil Dead 1 is like the unintentional camp that I can't. But I like that.
No, maybe Evil Dead 1 is the one I
But
don't like.
Evil Dead 1 is the unintentional one, and then Evil Dead 2 is basically like they redid 1.
It's the
sort
same
of,
movie.
but
Yeah.
like added a bunch of other shit. But then it's like, okay, we're gonna lean into the camp now. This time, guys, we're gonna lean the fuck into it. All right.
I think 2 was when Sam Raimi was figuring out his directorial style.
Well, I mean, he was also figuring out in 1, so.
Yeah.
But
I think he thought he was going to be something serious in 1.
anyway,
Possibly.
That was unintentionally mean.
Dan, you got numbers for me?
Hi, everyone. It's your boy Dave. I probably don't have to say the number that I'm going to say because probably everyone knows by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 10.
Oh my god.
I absolutely love this movie. It's pure 80s joy. Like, the actors are having fun in this movie. Like, it's very punk rock. There's gore, there's boobs, there's just overacting. It's so good. I just love it. I'm tearing up. I just love it. I just love it so much. I just love it so much.
I'm sorry, I was so mean about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're different people.
We are.
But I love you, Russell.
I love you too, Dave.
Oh, shucks.
But he doesn't love this movie.
That's really...
Nathan, what do you got for me?
This is one of my favorite zombie movies. And it has been since I was a kid when I watched it on TNT. And then
You got the TV.
and then the HBO when I was like, oh, boobies,
Yeah.
which make everything better. It would make Spider-Man better
It's true. What?
with Willem Dafoe in it. Willem Dafoe with boobies and Spider-Man.
Like, you want movies on Willem Dafoe?
Yep, I said what I said.
No.
Okay.
No, I want Leanna Quigley's boobies to be put on Willem Dafoe,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Willem Dafoe would enjoy it too.
Quitting.
Do you think he can...
Oh, when I said put them on, I meant she would put hers on him, not
Yeah, like surgery.
no.
Nope.
Oh.
This is like the extended cut of the one part of what the fuck?
Tonight
What is that?
I make my goblin dreams come true.
Butterfly Effect?
No, the movie with fucking Willem Dafoe in it, where he cross
Oh, where he cross-dresses?
Yeah. He almost blows the Goomba. What the fuck is that movie?
He was in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. No,
That's Dennis Hopper.
no, he was in the fucking the fucking God damn it! Everyone kill me. That I don't know what this movie is, and I can't describe it to
Who
them.
else is in it?
A bunch of dudes having bad Irish accents, shooting
Boondock
people.
Saints?
Yeah, Boondock Saints.
But Saints 2, he's in.
No, he's in the first one.
Oh, he's in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, he fucking does
Yeah, he is.
cross-dress
Yeah.
and almost blows a fucking mafia dude in the bathroom.
Like with a gun or with his mouth?
His mouth.
That movie.
I mean, he's gay in the movie, but, like, I don't remember him cross-dressing.
Oh yeah.
It's like subtle.
No, it's
I
not.
thought it was subtle.
No, it's not.
Being gay? No, because he's like...
No, he's totally gay.
But, like, cross-dressing
No, the
part.
cross-dressing was like full-on, like a wig and makeup and
Yes, now I remember.
I never
shitty dress.
watched the movie and I own it.
It's alright.
I like it.
It's not a cult. It shouldn't be a cult classic, and it is, and I don't get it, but... It's alright.
Hey, if you like cheesy 80s movies, you should watch this movie. It's got a good balance. And and like there's some bright spots with the acting in it, like Spider. That character was fucking phenomenal in this movie, and it's really just like a big turd, but like he's the piece of corn in the turds. He's the one keeping it together in this shit sandwich in the boobs. So thank you, Quigley and Spider.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. I
That's-
don't know.
that-
I don't know.
I feel very similar about this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I could watch it again. I think it'd be cool to redo this movie,
Yes.
but still keep the same 1980s time frame.
I think Sam Raimi should redo this movie.
I don't want it to suck even more.
Oh, hey, hold on.
What the
I
fuck?
said what I said. I think Zack Snyder should do this movie.
Now you're just being antagonistic.
Fucking troll!
Now you're just being.
Well, then Joss Whedon can come in and do it better, right?
Oh my god.
Damn.
I've been over here waiting for you guys to shut the fuck up just so I could, like, shiv ya.
Sleep?
Dude, I was.
I know.
I noticed.
That's the first time I've ever fell asleep on a podcast on a movie I enjoyed. That's weird.
Nathan is the most relatable character to our listeners.
Hey, now.
Hey, it's the fucking music again. I can shut this bullshit off.
Yeah. Do you want to party?
Thanks for listening to DQP Does while you were falling asleep there. Hopefully you weren't driving. What the fuck are we watching next week, Russell? Jesus Christ.
We haven't even talked about that.
Oh,
We'll
no.
watch it next week.
Hulk.
No.
Oh, we're starting MCU over again?
No, like the Eric Bana one.
Hulk Hogan, Mr. Nanny.
Oh, you want to do Hulk Hogan movies?
We're gonna do a Hulk Hogan movie. We're at least doing fucking,
Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
And Mr. Nanny.
So I watched
No
Tenet the other day.
Bard.
Is Hogan in it?
So have you watched a preview for the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt coming out on Amazon Prime?
Yes, I saw the preview.
Okay. Are we doing that in July? We could do the time travel. We could do, if we do 2 time travel movies next, then we could do that when it comes out.
Sure. Works for me.
So then I watched Tenet. You guys want to watch Tenet? 2.5 hours. It is a Christopher Nolan movie, and it's the most Christopher Nolan movie I have ever seen.
Oh, boy. I've never seen it. I've heard so many things about it.
So I see ads for the movie, or I was seeing ads for the movie like every 5 seconds on my Instagram from the company that makes all the gas masks that they use.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Mirror Safety. I don't know. They make expensive gas masks if you feel inclined to have one. I'm into watching the movie. That's
Okay,
fine.
so we're watching Tenet, and then we need another time travel movie.
Back to the Future.
Part 2. Whoa. Dropping down in the middle of them.
No, I did that. I'll
You
be
can do the
never.
first one.
Time travel? Do the movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. Where he keeps reliving the same fucking day over and over again.
It's
Okay.
tomorrow, is that?
Do you want to do Edge of Tomorrow, Tenet, The Tomorrow War, and then
The day after tomorrow.
Back to the Future trilogy? Because I feel like if we're going to do Back to the Future, we got to do the
We
trilogy.
do the trilogy.
Yeah, the third one.
That's fine with me. He sneaks those bullshit lines in.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, because I remember him saying,
Yeah, it's okay, we can do that. Yeah, but this one's the best. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, brain?
because I remember him saying that the third Turtle movie's the best.
He did.
Was that
Turtles in Time is awesome.
the game?
The video game is.
The game is
Yeah, that was
awesome.
the third movie.
So if you were like, let's do the Indiana Jones movies, the fourth one's the best. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, the third one's the best.
Absolutely. Last Crusade was the best, but nonetheless,
I love Temple of Doom.
everyone does.
Most people don't like Temple of Doom, actually.
That's my favorite one as a kid. I love Temple of Doom.
Which one is Raiders of the Lost Ark?
The first one.
Which Which one has Sean Connery in it?
The third one.
Yeah, the third one.
Last Crusade.
Yeah.
I have the movie posters above my bed.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that one's that actually. Being serious, that is actually my favorite Indiana Jones.
I love Indiana Jones. If we ever want to watch those on the show, I'm
I
down.
really like the first and the third. The fourth is garbage.
There's no fourth movie.
I didn't watch it.
That's just Shia LaBeouf being actual cannibal
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
So, okay, do you guys like that plan?
Sure.
Edge of Tomorrow, Tenet, Tomorrow War, and then
Are we watching Edge of Tomorrow first?
I would like to, because I just watched Tenet.
Okay.
Works for me.
Edge of Tomorrow, next week, guys. We're gonna start some time travel. Wonky shit.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Why do you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
Brains only?
Yes.
Why? What about the pain?
The pain of being dead.
It hurts to be dead?
I can feel myself rot.
Eating brains, how does that make you feel?
It makes the pain go away.
You didn't sound like her at all.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.